Okay, dear friends, so here it is, my finish of Distracted by Diamonds, the 3rd of May, by Jan de Jesus. I absolutely love it. It's really beautiful. So I'm going to take you close and we can then talk after more in detail. Okay, let's see. So, well, before I do that, let me show you. I did substitute some things. So if you see some, first of all, well, before I get to that, look at the shine. You could see how sparkly these gems are. They're really beautiful. But as you can see, I did substitute some of the drills for rhinestones. You see some red ones there. You should see some like goldish yellowish ones there and there. I put that in the, I'm calling them doves because I think that's what they are. In the dove's eye, I put a special gem. I put a special gem in this one's eye, as well as this bird toy. And on the bird is the only place I put those gold, what I call the gold bolts right there, that's surrounding him. Blue rhinestones, orange, and it really, the little bit of rhinestones really set it off beautifully. Okay, let's step back a little bit to see the whole view. Okay, so let's talk about how the canvas went. So, as I've said before, for anybody who watches me, these colors are a little bit tough for me, so I was kind of feeling a bit of a lull, a bit of a slump doing it, but it wasn't that bad. And I kind of, it was my fault, as I've said. Also, you know, when I know I have to do something that's a little more difficult for me to get through, I kind of have to prepare myself and, like, stick to it. But I did it, and I did that, and I started, and I kind of messed it myself up because I decided to work on a couple of side fun projects, and I'm just someone, I can't do that. I really, if I have to, if I'm doing something like this where the colors are just browns and, you know, dark reds and dark purples, and they're just kind of more drab colors to me, while it comes out beautifully, as you can see, working with them is hard for me. So I have to just stick with it. I can't let my mind wander to other fun stuff because then I won't want to go back to this. So that was my only issue with actually drilling the canvas. Otherwise, it was great. The symbols, I had no problem. Well, let me take that back. So let's talk symbols. So I couldn't use a light pad with this, and luckily, because of other projects I was working on before that, I didn't use a light pad. I was kind of used to it. Now the problem is why I couldn't use it is because the canvas material really dulled out and made some of the symbols fuzzy looking, kind of like how it would happen sometimes with Dreamer Designs. So I couldn't use it. It was much better to not use the light pad. The symbols were perfectly clear without the light pad. Once the light pad was on, some of them went blurry or fuzzy, whatever you want to call it. I probably could have got through it, but again, that just makes this experience, especially with something so large, much more difficult. So I didn't use one at all. I didn't use the light pad at all. It was perfectly fine. I didn't have a problem with that. So that's kind of my only issue, was that the light from underneath really did not do the symbols well. The diamonds themselves they're actually, it's weird because they're the kind of diamonds where when you're working with them, you're kind of like, they don't look like they're the best quality, but when it's done, it looks perfect. So again, what do I mean by that? This has tons of sparkle and shine. It's really beautiful. I mean, I love it. Now, other people are more picky for whatever reason. I don't know. It's up to you if you want to be. But the diamonds were, people like you were trashy, and they were kind of trashy. So, as Whitney says, there were like little baby diamonds in there, meaning tiny little round specks. There were quite a bit of them, especially in the darker colors, like the blacks and the dark browns. And stuff like that. And also some of the diamonds were smaller than others, some were bigger than others. I've said it in the past, that does not bother me at all. I don't care. As a matter of fact, I kind of sometimes like it because for whatever reason, I don't know, for whatever reason, I find that they turn out better than just like perfectly uniform diamonds. And it's not like they're popping or anything, so, and there's no spacing issues, they're not too close, they're not too far away, it's perfectly fine. But I did want to just tell you, the diamonds were, on looking at them in the tray, they kind of looked like they're not great, but on the canvas, they're perfectly fantastic. So I don't care about that, it's not a problem, that wouldn't stop me ever from getting them. I don't mind picking out not even picking out trash, just pushing it aside or whatever, or just shuffling the little tray, so, I think that was kind of it. Oh, and the only other thing that I actually want to say, that where I'm kind of it's like if I'm at a 50-50, sometimes I'm okay with it, sometimes not, is as the color. Now, the one color that I absolutely have a tiny bit of a problem with how it turned out is the pink. So if you can see on the skin tone, that has the flesh tone, and then they have that pink. That is very bright pink. I mean, it's pretty bright in the camera, and in person it's kind of even brighter. Sometimes when I look at it, I'm like, oh, okay, it looks kind of good. It kind of makes it look a certain way, like, not as realistic, but it gives a certain artistic, interesting look. And other times I'm like, ooh, no, that's just way too bright. I wish it would look more realistic. So it just really depends on the day or the time I'm looking at it. That's the only thing I actually think they should have changed. If I had to change anything about this whole canvas, it would be that color. If they wanted to have a pinkish tone, it should have been a lot lighter. Because believe me, this pink is very bright. So, here, see how bright that is? Again, it doesn't make me not like the canvas. I adore this canvas. I adore this art. It came out, look at the detail in it. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. The sparkle. That's the only thing. Like, if I was to give it a score, I'd give it like a 95. It would lose, well, I'll give it a 90. It'll lose 5 points for the skin tone, that pink, and I will lose 5 points for the canvas having the fuzzy symbols with the light pad. So I'll give it a 90 out of 100 if I had to give it a score, which would basically be an A or an A minus, I don't know, something like that. Because again, I don't want to discourage anybody. Of course, if the light issue or the pink tone issue is something that you really can't live with and you're interested in the canvas, that's up to you. For me, both things I'm able to live with. The light thing I didn't have a problem with as long as I could read it without the light pad. And the skin tone, like I said, half the time I'm okay with it, half the time I'm like, oh, I wish it was different. So even that, I don't hate it, but I do think if I had to choose, it would be different. Okay, so beyond that, it's always easier to criticize little things or criticize than say how wonderful it is. I mean, all I could say is I spend most of the time like saying my little nitpicky things, but besides I'm going to say, oh, this is beautiful, what else is there to say, right? I mean, I don't know what else to say. I think the charting is extraordinary. Like I said, the details, you could see, look at all the little houses down there, the circles. I mean, the clogs and the clocks. Not the clocks, they are cogs. That's what they are, cogs. In the background, I mean, they're great detail. That wavy sort of cog thing that's in front of the person is beautiful. The bird is actually, the gold bird looks really cute and cool. And the actual dove birds I really love how the shading is in them. It looks really great, to me at least. It might seem a little fuzzy, but it's not. It really, the shading, it looks fantastic. And though you can't really tell too much in person, the hair, you can definitely see there's two different colors in there. There's definition with the hair, the hand on the face. It looks great. It doesn't look weird at all. So I just think this is really fantastic, and I really liked where I was able to change out the diamonds for the rhinestones. I think I was kind of lucky that I really chose the right places, and it turned out really great. How it was charted and my changes to the actual canvas. Again, it wasn't a lot of changes. It wasn't tons of color changes, but enough to give it that extra sparkle and shine and zhuzh, you know? So, alright. So I've been talking long enough. There's nothing else I really can say. I gave you my opinion on this. Again, if you love this piece of art like I do, I would definitely say get it. Really, it's a really extraordinary piece. And I can't wait to do the other one I have. That will be it. Won't be for a while, though. I know some people want me to do the violinist, but I need a break from the big ones. I need to take a break and do some small ones now. So, alright. Until next time, guys, be safe, be happy, stay safe, stay happy, and I hope you enjoyed this finished review of Distracted by Diamonds, the 3rd of May by Ian De Jesus. It's extraordinary. Bye, guys.